From Getty Headline Sports, New York's Ron Guidry pitched 5 innings of one-hit ball for his first victory since September 5th as Louisiana Lightning continues to recharge his shoulder. 7-3 dumping of Chicago improves Guidry's lifetime mark against the Sox to 13-5. Dave Winfield led the Yankees' offensive attack with 3 base hits. New York now trails first-place Detroit in the AL East by just 1 game. That's because Terry Clark 5-hit the Tigers over 8 innings before giving way to Donnie Moore in the 9th as the Angels blanked Detroit 4-zip. Boston has crept its way to within 6 games the top spot in the East after recording its first ever 4-game sweep of Kansas City. Ellis Burks, who came to work nursing an upset stomach, responded to skipper Joe Morgan's request for at least 3 innings. All Burks did was drive in 5 by belting a homer, triple, and double in the 10-8 win. Bobby Witt ended a personal string of 6 consecutive defeats by recording his first ever complete game shutout. The Rangers blanked Milwaukee 3-0, snapping the Rangers' 5-game skid. Oakland has lost 8 of 11 and now leads the Twins by just 3 games in the West. Fred McGriff smashed 2 homers while driving in 4, leading the Blue Jays to a 9-6 win over the Athletics. Frank Viola became the first 15-game winner in the American League as Minnesota won its 4th in a row, 7-2 at Baltimore. Kirby Puckett, Greg Gagne, and Gene Larkin all homered for the Twins. The Indians topped Seattle in the only other AL battle. In the National, Bob Ojeda allowed 5 hits in 8+ innings.
Darryl Strawberry homered for the 3rd straight game, increasing his National League lead to 24 homers. Mookie Wilson and Tim Tuffle also homered for New York.
Pittsburgh remains 2.5 games out of first in the East after winning their 9th straight. Barry Bonds smashed a pinch hit 2-run homer, breaking an 8th-inning tie and route to a 5-4 win over the Giants. The other big pinch hit homer took place in Chicago, where Franklin Stubbs belted a 3-run blast.
Top of the 7th, Tommy Lasorda sends Franklin Stubbs to pinch hit. He's hitting 193 with runners on base at no. He's hitting 195, I guess, after this. A 3-run homer. And as Lasorda liked his move, yeah, hey, Tommy, it doesn't make any difference what a manager does. Remember that? Well, it did on Sunday. Cubs had their chances to close in against Alejandro Pena, but Chicago failed each time. Here, Pena starts a double play, 1-6-3 style, and the Dodgers win. Pena, as you can see, has been untouchable in his last several appearances on the mound. So the Dodgers took game 1 4-1. They took game 2 also 5-2, thus sweeping a big 5-game series from the Chicago Cubs. Now, in Pittsburgh, the Pirates were in search of their 9th win in a row as they looked for a series sweep against the Giants. And were the Pirates hot? I guess so. That guy's not hot. He's got some water. Hey, the turnstiles are hot in Pittsburgh. They went over the million mark Sunday, and we're still in July. Bottom of the 2nd, 1-zip Pittsburgh and Darnell Coles. Lines of Terry Mulholland pitch into right center. Junior Ortiz and Mike Dunn score 3-0 Pirates. But the Giants get into it in the 5th off Dunn. Robbie Thompson lines this pitch down the left field line. Fair or foul? It is fair. It's a home run, 2-run shot. The Pirates lead it 3-2. In the 6th, Kevin Mitchell. I mean, just the sound of that tells you it's way, way out of the ballpark. The game is tied at 3. It remained tied at 3 until the bottom of the 8th. Barry Bonds coming off the bench to pinch hit with a ball country. Jim Gott allowed a run in the top of the 9th, but so what? Pirates win it by a score of 5-4. They're 16 games over 500. They haven't been that much over the 500 mark since 1980. The Pirates are hot. In Philadelphia, the Phillies, well, hey, they won 2 games in a weekend. That classifies as hot for them. Mike Schmidt had a home run in this game, had 4 RBIs. His home run was the 538th of his career. They beat the Astros 10-4. In Atlanta, the Braves and the New York Mets winding up a weekend set. Top of the 3rd, Mookie Wilson breaks a scoreless game. Doesn't look like anything but an innocent swing, almost with one hand, but he knocks a Tom Glavine pitch out of the park, 1-zip. Top of the 6th now, Darryl Strawberry. Watch this. I mean, you just got to stand and watch. Friends, this thing is in the club level of Fulton County Stadium. Only 6 players have done that, and he is one of them. Top of the 7th, Mookie Wilson gets a Glavine pitch right near the head, and he's ticked off. You know what? I don't blame him. Glavine says, come on. You think you can do something about it? Come on. Well, he said more than come on, because here goes Mookie, and Bill Robinson had to hold him. The best way to get even with a pitcher is on the next pitch, take him deep. And Tim Tuffle says, take that. I'll bet you he took his time going around the bases, too. Tuffle did. And the Mets at that point let it 4-zip. Yeah, there he comes. Real slow. That's it. All right. And a 4-2 is the final. Strawberry's homer, by the way, his 12th of the year off a left-hander. Cincinnati over Montreal 3-1. Jack Armstrong, the Reds' #1 draft pick last year, starting to crank up some good outings now. His 2nd straight strong outing. for the Reds. San Diego takes 3 out of 4 on a weekend series from St. Louis. The Padres win it 3-1. Eric Schau ties his mark for most complete games in a season, tying his personal best with 5. And the Padres are a much better team under Jack McKeon. Don't know what he's doing, which buttons he's pushing that Larry Boa didn't. But
June has been shrinking steadily since. So the A's had to feel confident with Toronto in town for a 4-game series. After all, the A's had won all 8 meetings prior to the set. But the Blue Jays were trying to make it 3 of 4 this afternoon. Kelly Gruber played to the plate. Polonius slides in, thinks he's safe. Sal Butera says, there was no call there. You're out of there. A's manager Tony La Russa comes out to argue, gets ejected, and then decides to do a little decorating work in the dugout. Yeah, I'll take this bat, put it over there. Score tied at 1 in the second, and a 3-0 count. Fred McGriff gets the green light and crushes this shot. A 3-run home run, his 17th of the year. Jays up 4-1. In the third, Manny Lee at the plate. Singles this one to center field. Dave Henderson misplays the ball. George Bell comes in, Cecil Fielder as well, and Lee ends up on third. The Jays up 7-1 when Fred McGriff comes up. And once again, this is a solo shot to center field. His second of the game, 18th of the year. The Jays go on to win this one 9-6. The Jays take 3 of 4 in the weekend series after losing the first 8 meetings to the A's this year. Oakland's lead in the American League West would shrink to 3, the smallest since April 29th. Here's the reason why. In Baltimore, the Twins were taking aim at the A's. Frank Viola looking for his 15th win of the year, and Jim Traber is still trying to figure out what happened to this pitch as it drops off the table. 4 strikeouts for Viola. He had defensive support as well. Shue with the shot. Al Newman comes up to it, over to Herbeck, and Herbeck applies the tag on the diving Shue. A great 5-3 play. Viola gets offensive support as well. Greg Gagne against Jose Batista. Out to left field. Stanisic gives it a look, but it is gone. A home run, a 2-run shot is 10th. 3-0 Twins after 3. In the 5th, it's Kirby Puckett facing Dave Schmidt. Doesn't look like Kirby gets all of this, but Ken Gerhardt will tell you he did because it's over the 387 mark. A 2-run home run is 13th. 5-0 Twins after 5. More Twins defense. Eddie Murray gets this one off the end of the bat. Viola was still pitching. Gladden comes in, makes the diving grab to rob Murray of at least a single, as it might have gone to the wall if he missed it. 7-2 is the final. The Minnesota Twins win and move to within 3 games of Oakland. Viola, 5 hits over 5 innings. The American League leading 15th win. Earliest 15-game winner in Twins history in 1970, Jim Perry, you'll recall, got his 15th on July 22nd. In Boston, the Sox looking to sweep the Kansas City Royals. Bottom of the first. 1-0 Red Sox. 2 are aboard. Ellis Burks with a long fly ball. And this one is gone over the monster. A home run for Ellis Burks, a 3-run shot, 4-0 Red Sox. Bottom of the second, 5-0 Sox. Burks again. Now watch this one. Tartabull will not get called for an error as it bounces over his glove, but the runs come in to make it 7-0 Red Sox. Top of the 7th, it's 10-4. The Royals are tightening the lead. That's White with a blooper to left. Stillwell scores. Kevin Seitzer scores. That's White's 1800th career hit. 10-6. Bottom of the 8th, it's 10-8, but the comeback will fall short. And so did the Royals manager John Watson, attempting to argue balls and strikes, and that gets you the automatic toss out of the game. 10-8 is the final. The Red Sox first ever 4-game sweep of the Kansas City Royals. Interim manager Joe Morgan may not be interim for long if he keeps this up. Perfect 4-0.
And the Sox only 6 games out of the East, John. The New York Yankees, meanwhile, were looking to get back on the right track Sunday after their old-timers' day loss to the White Sox a day before. A win and a little help from the California Angels would pull the Yanks to within 1 game of the top of the heap. The top of the heap. Yes, that's where they like to be in New York, New York. Let's go to Yankee Stadium, find out what happened early on. Yanks off to a fast start. There goes Gary Reedus stealing second over Chicago. There goes the throw into center field by Don Slaught. Gary Ward, he'll promptly miss the cutoff man, and Gary Reedus sees all this and takes advantage, sliding in, and he beats the throw home 1-0 Chi Sox. But Ron Guidry was sharp. Yes, the fan, Kenny Williams right there to end the 4th. Guidry allowed just 1 bunt single in 5 innings of work. Then he left the game because he's coming back from rehab. Winfield doesn't need any rehab. 3 for 4 on the day. He gets a single to left. Jack Clark decides to go to third, and he'll make it. Winfield hustles to second. Both runners eventually scored. Yanks led it 3-1. And in the bottom of the 6th, Willie Randolph line single up the middle. Rafael Santana scores. Ricky Henderson takes the extra base as well. The Yankees aggressive on the base paths on Sunday. Guidry made 84 pitches. The plan is to bring him back slowly. He's coming back from off-season shoulder surgery. But Ron Guidry gets his first win since last September and the Yankees win it. Texas, meanwhile, beat Milwaukee by a score of 3-zip. A rare Sunday afternoon game in Arlington, Texas. Why? Well, 102-degree heat. That's why they are so rare. Rangers' Bobby Witt, his first complete game shutout ever. Cleveland wins one in Seattle, 7-4, the final there. Castillo, his first homer, as you see, in 84 at-bats. The Tribe, though, have fallen out of contention for the time being in the East. In California, the Angels and the front-running Tigers at the Big A. Scoreless game, bases loaded, one out for Frank Tanana in the 8th. Johnny Ray of California, little number near the first base line. Tanana makes a great play to Dick Schofield for the 4th. 2 men out. But with Mike Henneman brought out of the bullpen by Captain Hook, that wrong move, Sparky. I mean, he's done a great job, but this one didn't work out. Brian Downing slaps it into left. Can't get him out all the time. Bob Boone scores. Devon White scores. 2-zip. The Angels in front of the 8th. Next hitter is Chili Davis, who's been anything but chilly of late. He's been on fire. Strokes one to the gap in right center field. And Ray scores. Gary Pettis with a rather weak throw. Where'd that go? They're still looking for that, friends. Brian Downing scores. Angels go on to beat the Tigers 4-zip. I guess if we're looking for part-time work, we can go throw the ball around the outfield in Anaheim. I don't know.
Or we can still go look for that one.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Still going up in orbit. Back with more in just a moment.